How's it going, everybody? My name is Salty Paimon and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Today we just got the release of the Lantern event, and this thing is actually pretty awesome, but there is something I really like about it, and that's going to be the Theather Mechanicus. This is a sort of, tower defense type of game that's going to be an event for about a month or so, or actually less than that. But basically, the Theather Mechanicus is actually pretty awesome. If you ever played Bloons Tower Defense, you'll kind of know what this feels like, and honestly, it's pretty in-depth and awesome, hence why I want to give you the 5 best tips for the Theather Mechanicus and event guide. So, that's it, guys. Let's get into number 5. So, number 5, make sure to upgrade your Mechanicus in the armory. Now, to do this, you can't do this while you're inside and actually battling within the theater. You can't do it there. You have to do this outside. So, what you gotta do is just come over here and talk to the designer, Ryujin. When you actually talk to her, what will happen is she will tell you, or rather, she will offer you the ability to go into the armory. And if you do this, you can go and upgrade basically all of your, towers. So, if you press the armory button, you go in there, and you'll see you have the different Mechanicus, and you can just, upgrade them. And by doing this, you'll notice that you will actually increase the base attack of these. So, for example, the base attack now is going up from 620 to 1000. But that's not all. As you upgrade it to different levels, you will also gain additional passives, like level 3 unlocks water cannons, deal hydro damage, and apply wet to opponents in a larger AoE. And level 5, for example, unlocks periodically creates mist bubbles in the surrounding area and imprison the opponents that come in contact with them. So definitely do this. This, of course, will cost you, the beneficious sigils, which you get from actually doing the, Theather Mechanicus itself, like actually doing the challenge in there. So you get these and you kind of spend them in here. So it's a bit of a back and forth thing, it's something kind of like that. But you really got to do this, though. It's really, really useful because when you get to the higher levels and over the coming days, it will get harder, okay? The actual challenges will get really much harder, so you will need to upgrade these, to just be able to handle things. So definitely do that. Very, very recommended. Number 4. Okay, so here you can use something that I think is really useful, which is to actually block enemies by body blocking them from making progress. This is something you can do, and this is something you can actually do with the Geo main character. So you just gotta resonate, and get the Geo version of the main character. And once you've done this, what you can do is you can use this E ability to actually block enemies from progressing forward. This is really, really useful, and I would highly recommend doing this because it will just be allowing you to slow them down somewhat. So definitely do this if you want to slow down the enemies. Number 3, use an archer. This will be really useful for allowing you to reach enemies that are a bit too far away. Now, you can't technically damage enemies, right? You can't damage them, but what you can do is use your actual, elements to kind of affect the field. So the field is still, the actual field effects are still there. You can still use those. They can still, react to each other. So do that 100%, and you'll be able to see how useful that really is. Number 2, you can't, of course, actually damage enemies, but you are able to use your E ability to, for example, slow down enemies. This is why you 100% should have a Cryo on your team. Honestly, a Cryo plus an Hydro or a Cryo plus a Geo main character, for example, using his E, will be the best way to get through everything. So I would highly recommend get a Cryo character. I mean, you have free ones, you got a few ones like that. So definitely get your hands on a Cryo character because it will just be useful to slow down enemies, basically. So get yourself a Cryo one and you'll be set. And the number 1, which is remember to sell the Recovery Mechanicus when you are stacked for money or you have stacked money. So basically, the Recovery Mechanicus is super useful for when you need to get, kind of early money. And honestly, in the first phase, you should always have one closest to your first 2 towers. This is mainly just so you can, kind of stack up early money within the Theather Mechanicus during the first phase. So you want to do that just in the first phase at the start. Have one of these next to your, 2 closest towers, so we can just kind of earn you more money that way, right? But once you've gotten 14 out of 14 Mechanicus towers, you should simply just go ahead and sell the Recovered Mechanicus if you have like 500 or so, beneficious points. Just get rid of them at that point. You don't really need them. You have enough money to get rid of other, towers and replace them and still get enough money back to work with it. So definitely get rid of those because they just take up spots that you don't really need anymore, where you need more damage to be done or something just to be in the way to slow enemies down. So I'm gonna tell you right now, yeah, get rid of the recovery Mechanicus. That's one of the biggest things I will tell you, right? So those are the 5 best tips I could come up with for the Theather Mechanicus. I may have another video, you know, once the other phases come out and once we have unlocked the other options that are going to be available. But right now, I'll tell you this. The best combination I've seen, honestly, is combining Electro and Hydro. Those two, to me, seem like the best ones. Not because they're, you know, like, they really don't, like, do a lot of slowing and all that, because, honestly, Cryo is the best for slowing. But what you can do that way, then, is, you know, just simply use, you know, a Cryo character with their E ability to slow enemies down, and then have a Hydro and Electro kind of in the back, you know, just doing the extra damage and, like, just basically destroying the enemies. So, I would highly recommend to do those two, because they really work well together. But, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, then drop a like down below, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out and bye-bye.